Welcome back, tribe. Today's video is on the topic of the cost of being a modern man in relationships. Some hard truths that not many people talk about. I was going to take my camera outside and do another walk and talk, but it's raining pretty bad. So I'm going to show you some visual decadence while I talk about this topic. So you don't have to stare at my ugly shirt and nasty cap while I'm growing my hair. So I wanted to talk about something that's been messing with men's heads for a while now. It's this whole confusion about what it means to be a man in modern relationships. And let me tell you, it's a bigger mess than most people are actually realizing. The real problem isn't just what's happening on the surface. It's what this confusion is doing to men at their core. We're living in the weird time where everything that comes naturally to us as men is being called toxic. Every masculine instinct we have, protecting, providing, to lead, somehow problematic in the world today. Think about how messed up that is for a second. The very things that helped humans survive and thrive for thousands of years are suddenly outdated or wrong. They tell us we need to be more sensitive, more vulnerable, and more in touch with our emotions. But here's what nobody's talking about. Every man who's actually done this has seen how quickly it backfires. Let's break down what actually happens in these situations. A woman tells you she wants emotionally available men. Someone who'll cry with them, share their feelings, be vulnerable. Sounds good in theory, yeah? So then you try it. You open up about your struggles at work, your fears about not being good enough, your insecurities about the future. And what happens next? It's like watching a slow motion car crash. The look in her eyes changes. Maybe it's not immediate, but it happens. The respect starts to fade. You can feel it in small ways at first. She starts questioning your decisions more, testing you in little ways, making small comments that show she's losing faith in your strength. Suddenly you're too emotional, too needy. Or she hits you with the classic line about feeling more like friends. You did exactly what she said she wanted, and it killed the attraction. This isn't just happening in a few relationships. It's everywhere. Men are being fed this constant message about toxic masculinity, about how they need a change, about how traditional masculine traits are the problem. But look at what's actually happening in relationships where men buy into this completely. They're falling apart. Why? Because there's a massive difference between what society is telling us women want and what actually creates attraction and respect in relationships. Think about the guys you know who are in happy, strong relationships. Are they the ones who've completely rejected their masculine core? Are they the ones who are constantly worried about being too masculine? Hell no. They're the ones who found that balance. Strong but harsh, confident, not arrogant, leading, not dictating. That leadership thing is crucial. So we'll dig into that one just a little bit. Every guy who's been in a long-term relationship knows what happens when you stop leading. Maybe you've been told it's more equal that way. Maybe you're trying to be more progressive. So you start letting her make all the decisions, or at least the small ones. Where to eat, what to do on weekends, how to handle problems that come up. You become passive in a way, always deferring to what she wants. And for a while, it might seem fine. She might even say she likes it, but then something shifts. The respect, that shit starts to erode. She starts to get frustrated, but not about the decisions. It's just about everything. She tests you more, shows less respect. The intimacy starts fading. Why? Because deep down, she doesn't want a passive partner. She wants a man who can take charge when needed, who has a backbone, who can be counted on to handle shit when it gets tough. Now let's talk about what's happening with dating apps and social media. That's a big one because that shit changed the game completely. Women are getting more and more attention and validation than ever before. And I'm not talking about just a little more. I'm talking about hundreds of guys in their DMs, constant likes, comments, endless options just a swipe away. Every average girl now gets the kind of attention that only models used to get 20 years ago. What's this doing to relationships? It's creating a mess on both sides. For women, it's creating this artificial sense of options. Even committed relationship, there's always this background noise of other possibilities. Every little argument, every moment of dissatisfaction, and those DMs start looking tempting. Not because she's bad, but because human nature is this way. For men, it's destroying confidence in subtle ways. You're trying to build something real while she's got 100 guys telling her she deserves better. You're working through normal relationship challenges while some guy who doesn't have to deal with any of the real life stuff is telling her she's settling. It's like trying to build a house while someone's constantly trying to sell her mansion she can't actually afford. But here's the deeper problem. It's making men question everything about how they approach relationships. Should you be like the guys in her DM? Should you be less serious? More serious? It's creating this constant second guessing that kills authentic masculine energy. And let me tell you, the moment you start second guessing your masculine core, you already lost, man. Let's talk about what this uncertainty is really doing to us as men. We second guessing every natural instinct we have. The urge to step up and handle things, we question it. That desire to be the rock in a relationship, we wonder if it's wrong. The protective instinct, we suppress that too. It's like we're trying to rewire everything that makes us men. And you know what nobody talks about? How many relationships fall apart, not because the man was too masculine, but because he wasn't masculine enough. I've seen it happen over and over. Guys get into a relationship, start suppressing all his natural instincts to be better, more modern, stops being decisive, stops leading, becomes overtly emotional, basically tries to become what he thinks a modern man should be. What happens? The relationship slowly dies. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. The spark goes out. The respect fades. The attraction is dying. And here's the kicker. Most guys in this situation think they need to double down on being softer, more sensitive, more in touch with their feelings. They're literally running faster in the wrong direction. Here's the truth about what women actually respond to versus what they say they want. And this isn't some pickup artist bullshit. This is real life observation from thousands of relationships. They might say they want a sensitive guy who shares all his feelings, but watch what happens when a man actually does this too much. They might say they want an equal partnership where nobody leads, but watch how they react to a man who can't make decisions. The real mindfuck is that most women genuinely believe they want these things. And on some level, they do. But there's a difference between wanting a man who can be sensitive and wanting a sensitive man. There's a difference between wanting a man who can share his feelings and wanting a man who's constantly emotional. It's subtle, but it's crucial. So let's talk about what actually works, because that's what matters at the end of the day. This isn't about being an asshole. It's not about being controlling or aggressive. Those guys are just as lost as the super soft ones. They're just compensating in another direction. What works is understanding that masculine energy is necessary and good, but that it needs to be channeled right. Think about a strong tree for a minute. It's solid, rooted, powerful, but it can still bend in the wind. It doesn't break because it's rigid. It survives because it's strong enough to be flexible without losing its core stability. That's what we're aiming for here. Being strong enough to be gentle when needed, but never weak. To be confident enough to listen to her input, but not passive that you can't make decisions. Here's what it looks like in real life. When shit hits the fan, and it always does eventually, she needs to know you can handle it. Not by emotionally dumping, not by falling apart, but by facing it head on. Maybe you're stressed about it. Maybe you're uncertain, but you maintain the calm, centered energy that says, we'll figure this out. I got this. You don't need to worry. That's what makes women feel secure. Not your words, but your energy. Let's get specific about decisions and leadership, because this is where a lot of guys mess up. Leading isn't about controlling every little thing. It's not about making every decision. It's about being willing to take responsibility for the direction of your life and relationship. When she asks, what should we do about this? She's not just asking about the specific situation. She's testing if you can handle problems in general. The big trap is trying to be equal in the wrong way. Equal value? Absolutely. Okay, sure, fine. Equal worth? Without question. Great. But trying to be equal in energy, this is where the relationship dies. The masculine and feminine energies need to be different to create attraction. When you try to meet in the middle on everything, you end up with this lukewarm, sexless partnership where no one's really happy. Here's something most guys don't understand about tests in relationships. When a woman tests you, and she will test you, she's not trying to be difficult. She's not even doing it consciously most of the time. She's checking if you're still the strong man she was attracted to. Can you handle her emotional storms without becoming emotional yourself? Can you stay centered when she's all over the place? That's what she really needs from you. It's stupid and counterintuitive, I know, but it is what it is. And modern society has got us thinking that these tests are somehow wrong or unfair, that women shouldn't test men. That's its toxic behavior. But these tests serve a purpose. They show her if you're really strong as you appear. The problem isn't the tests themselves, it's that most men haven't been taught how to handle them right. Hence the name shit test. And if you pass them with flying colors, you'll have the best woman by your side. Most men crash and burn, unfortunately. And honestly, understanding the problem isn't enough. You need to know how to handle it. Everybody could read red pill tenets and like, this is a shit test. This is how you should respond. I need to agree and amplify. I need to do this, that. But when it comes during the live moment you're with your woman, that's the last thing you'll be thinking of. What you need to do is find a balance between the man you're naturally meant to be and adapting to modern times. Yes, you can be emotionally intelligent without being soft. You can be strong without being toxic. Yeah, you can lead without being controlling. But you got to stop apologizing for being a man. When she's upset, she doesn't need you to match her emotional state. She doesn't need you to fix everything immediately either. What she needs is your steady presence. Think about it. If she's in a choppy emotional waters, does she need another person thrashing around with her? Or does she need an anchor? You're the anchor. You're the rock. The same goes for decision making. You don't have to make every decision, but you need to be willing to make the tough ones. When everyone's stuck on where to eat dinner, make the call, dude. When there's a difficult situation that needs handling, step up. It's not about controlling everything. It's about being willing to take the lead when leadership is needed. The real cost of modern relationships isn't just the confusion or frustration we talked about. It's the loss of authentic masculine energy. It's men becoming something they're not, and relationships suffer because of it. It's the death of that natural polarity between masculine and feminine energy that actually creates attraction and keeps relationships strong. So what's the move forward? Start trusting your instincts again. Lead with strength and compassion. Be emotionally available, but maintain your center. Make decisions, but listen to her input. You're the fucking captain. She's the first mate. Captains always ask for their opinions, but ultimately make the decision. You steer the ship, always. Because if she's steering it, that's mutiny. Be the man you're meant to be, not the watered-down version society tells you to be. Because here's the truth. Strong men make strong relationships. Not weak men pretending to be strong. Not strong men pretending to be weak. But authentic men who understand the masculine core and aren't ashamed of it. It's not about going backwards. It's not about some outdated version of manhood. It's about finding your way back to the authentic masculine love. The kind that protects without suffocating, leads without controlling, and stays strong without being cold. It's the stuff women literally drip over as they're reading their little smut books. It's the kind of man that can handle both strength and sensitivity. The feminine side they all wish the strong man had. Who knows when to be hard, when to be soft, who can lead without losing empathy. That's what women actually want, whether they can articulate it or not. That's what relationships actually need, whether society admits it or not. And most importantly, that's what we as men need to be, not for them, but ourselves. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about saving relationships. It's about saving ourselves, about remembering that being a man, a real man, isn't something to be ashamed of or apologizing for. It's something to embrace, to be proud of. The world needs strong men. Relationships need strong men. Look at what's happening in society. And despite what society might be saying right now, women need strong men. Not perfect men, not soft men, not toxic men, but authentic men who understand their power and know how to use it right. That's your challenge, not to become what society tells you to be. Because what you know deep down, you're meant to be. The kind of man who can weather any storm, lead with wisdom, love with strength, and never apologizing for being exactly who you're supposed to be. If you can get to that point in life and living authentically, you'll attract incredible women. You'll start to pass all those tests with flying colors effortlessly, passively, because you're living your own, I don't even want to say this cringy truth. You're living your truth, but it's not a facade. You don't have to act like a man. You don't have to be masculine. You just are by simply existing. That's where you need to get to. If you're second guessing all the time your decisions, if you're trying to be this progressive modern man, if you're trying to be emotional, if you take her word for what she wants, despite knowing it's not what she needs from you, your relationships will crash and burn. And at the end of the day, as a man, you'll get blamed for it either being good or being bad, one way or the other. It will always be your fault. Society will always see it as your fault. So might as well embrace who you are. Embrace the masculinity. Embrace being a man. Do not apologize for it. And don't let society make you feel bad about who you are and what you are. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please hit the like, subscribe button. Let me know how you like this style. I can't always walk around outside because it's raining, of course. My camera's not waterproof. Differences, obviously, is this mic quality sounds studio grade level. I can throw in some nice juicy clips of where I've been, and hopefully that holds your attention. Let me know. If you like this or the walking one, I could do either or both. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in, by the way. We'll be discussing this episode in the private community and hopefully have some interesting conversations there. We'd love to have you. Links are all in the description below. Take care, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.